we're in this for the long haul. If you are speculating or you are, or you're thinking about the short term, there are plenty of other things to invest in.
Hey everyone, Couch Investor back on our video for today. So let's talk about Palantir. I'm sure you already seen countless of videos about the last quarter. It was bad, it was a disaster, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure a lot of you have made up their minds and said, yes, maybe it is a bad quarter. And that's the problem with Palantir, because it is a stock, a company that is heavily covered on social media, whether it's on Reddit, on Twitter, or on YouTube. If some big account says it's a bad quarter, then everybody will just repeat like a parrot, yes, it's a bad quarter. If it's suddenly a good quarter, then everybody repeats, yes, it's a good quarter. Now, friendly reminder, the stock was actually up close to 30% before they reported earnings. Now, after earnings, the stock is down around 13%. So saying that the stock hasn't moved for a long time is just plain lies. You could have bought it around $6, $7 or so, but you didn't. You didn't. And now maybe you're complaining that it's just under $10 again. Why isn't it moving up with the overall market? Blah, blah, blah. Well, in this video, I'll try to explain to you why this quarter might have looked bad. But if you look at the long-term trajectory of the company, if you look at a couple of specific numbers and you actually do the work and talk with other people that have also looked at this quarter and said, maybe it wasn't as bad as every other YouTuber or Reddit person has said. So, before I jump into that, if you want to support this channel, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor and make sure to check out all the other links in the pinned comment, some of which might actually save you some money. And now, let's have a look at the quarter and see why I'm actually not that bearish. So, let's have a look. US business generated a trailing 12 months revenue of just over $1 billion. Now total US revenue was up 45% to $290 million. Total government revenue growth was 13% year over year. Now remember that number here very well, 13%. Total commercial revenue growth was 46%. To me, the commercial side of things needs to continue to do what it has been doing, and that's grow. Grow. With the commercial side, we always know that this side relies on budget releases, so yes, sometimes you might have better quarters than others. And this is where all the negativity came from, right? 119% net dollar retention, which is down from 125% in the last quarter. Now, remember what we said, right? Remember that 13% growth, so let's say 113% came from government, that NDR number, right? Approximately. On the commercial side of things, probably that number sits at 125, 126% or so. Which, again, is not as bad as what everybody has been saying all over the internet. Yes, overall, quarter over quarter, number isn't great. But when you look a bit deeper, and especially if you look at the commercial side, because again, commercial side, if that breaks, then yes, maybe the thesis is a bit broken. But right now, it didn't break, and the percentage there is probably a bit higher than 125%. So to me, that number, that 119%, is not such a big red flag. Now continuing here, Q2 revenue grew by 26%, so not that 30% that was promised, let's say, year over year to $473 million. The total customer count grew 80% year over year. Again, not something you should be overlooking. It's still 80% growth year over year. So they added 27 new clients this quarter. Yes, last quarter was 40 and the quarter before that was 34. But again, it's still up 80% year over year. From those new customers, 19 were from the commercial side and 8 from the government side, as you can see right here. And also here on the right is another positive thing. Average revenue per the top 20 customers, that has increased 17%. Obviously, the top 20 customers, those 15 to 20 might sometimes change, but the overall bulk of it is very important for the longevity of the company, and that number keeps increasing, which is good. Also, by the way, returning to this number here, As Alex Karp said during the earnings call, these results were obtained by just a tiny sales force of 42 people, which is less than 1.5% of the company. They have more, but those are the ones that have actually learned their product and are able to sell it. So expect sales growth in the coming quarters as those salesperson are maybe a bit more knowledgeable on the product they're trying to sell. Now, as for deals closed, that increased 67% year over year. Billings, bit flat, 5%. Now, they ended Q2 2022 with $3.5 billion in total remaining deal value. That's just up 4% year over year, but still nice number to see. Remaining performance obligations grew 79% year over year to $1.2 billion. Again, good numbers to look at if you ask me. And then adjusted gross margin, fine, it's a SaaS business, so everything over 80% is a given. Adjusted operating income was $108 million, representing a margin of 23%. Obviously, in the long term, you would like to see that number increase. Adjusted free cash flow and cash from operations, 61 million adjusted free cash flow, cash from operations, 62 million. They ended the second quarter with 2.4 billion in cash and no debt. I repeat that, $2.4 billion in cash and zero debt. And now zooming out, looking back, right? Trailing 12 months revenue CAGR of 41% since the start of 2019. I mean, that's not bad, right? Is one little quarter here where, let's say, a couple of numbers didn't maybe suit what you were expecting? Is that a thesis breaking quarter? No. Looking back a little bit, start of 2019, which was before the pandemic, all the way to now, 41% CAGR, I think it's pretty nice. And as for guidance, they expect revenue of between 474 to 475 million and adjusted income from operation of 54 to $55 million, so obviously a decrease there. And then for the full year, they now expect revenue of between basically $1.9 billion and adjusted income from operations between 341 and $343 million, which again, obviously, most of us expected better numbers here. Yes, the stock is down 60% from the same time 1 year ago. Yes, in the last 3 months, the stock is up 36%. So, see where I'm going with this? Short term, long term, it's a completely different view. Yes, the analyst price target is also not that much higher than the current price today. Then again, this quarter was maybe a disappointment, and that's why you don't see many upgrades. By the way, here I am on stockcard.io. You can follow this channel's portfolio. Link is down in the description and in the pinned comment. It's free to follow. Palantir here has high growth potential. I think we all know that. Stable operations. We've seen lots of cash, no debt. Right now, pessimistic investors, 100%, has underperformed the market. Yes, again, is now a fairly priced stock. It was overvalued before. Right now, sits at fairly priced. Fine by me. Analyst consensus: 2 sell, 6 hold, and 3 buy. Again, if we want to trade this, obviously you would like it to go back lower, right? Under that $9 or so would be maybe, let's say, a tiny bit better, maybe more comfortable to buy. But then again, if you just want a dollar cost average, just do it during red days. Now we've had green days for the market, red days for Palantir, so it's really up to you. Now before I end this video, if you want to go and enter the contest that we're having on this channel, it's free to enter. The link will be down in the pinned comment. It's again on StockCard. You make your portfolio, you try to beat me and all those folks right here. Right now the number 1 spot is for Diego. He's up 39%, just a tiny bit more than Chase here. This contest runs until the last day of 2022. If you win it, you'll get $250 in cash. Also, for the top 5 winners, you'll get 3-month StockCard VIP access. It's free to enter, again, so why not? So to conclude, while Palantir's quarter wasn't maybe up to the standards that we were expecting from that company, especially not in the current macro environment, right, with everything that's been happening around the world, we would have thought that Palantir would be doing a bit better, but maybe those deals will only come into effect later on. Maybe deals were made, but money will probably come in the next coming quarters. Again, with government, it's complicated. We have midterms at the end of the year, So a lot of things can change there. But overall, as I showed you, don't just repeat what you see on YouTube, on Twitter, on Reddit. Look at the actual numbers, maybe talk with some people that aren't just clickbait and whatever. Look at the net dollar-based retention here, and you can actually see that the commercial side is doing much better than what everybody was expecting or everybody was saying. Overall, I'm still long Palantir. I have no intentions of selling my position because right now the thesis is not broken. So why should I sell? Obviously, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. What have you been doing with your Palantir shares? Leave it all down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.